Jill Carroll, the Christian Science Monitor reporter, held hostage in Baghdad for 82 days, telling her story for the first time. How did she survive? How was she treated? ABC News has an exclusive first look. She saw the shadowy Iraqi insurgency from the inside. The harrowing story of kidnapped Christian Science Monitor reporter Jill Carroll. And coming up, breaking her silence, Christian Science Monitor reporter Jill Carroll talking for the very first time about her 82 days as a hostage in Iraq. Tonight, for the first time, kidnapped victim Jill Carroll tells her story. In January, the freelance reporter for the Christian Science Monitor newspaper was taken hostage by insurgents in Baghdad. They held her captive for 82 days. As her paper has said, Carroll got closer to the insurgency than any American who has lived to tell the tale. Beginning tonight, Carroll breaks her silence. Jill Carroll was kidnapped on this street in Baghdad on January 7th of this year. Armed insurgents stormed her car and killed her friend and translator, Alan Anwia, right before her eyes.
As I was bending down and kind of being shoved over, I was looking out the corner, like in the crack of the door was open, and I saw, Alan was there, and I saw them kill Alan. Then they got in the car and we drove off, and they were screaming, "Jihad, jihad, jihad!" And they were like overjoyed, like they won the lottery.
This interview was conducted by Carroll's employer, the Christian Science Monitor newspaper, and provided first to ABC News. During her 82 days in captivity, Carroll says she was moved among at least 6 different houses. The U.S. military released this video last week upon announcing the arrest of 4 of Carroll's captors. Carroll says her captors fed her well, but that her terror rarely abated.
The bread would stick in my throat, and my stomach, I wanted to throw up whenever I remember chewing chicken in my mouth that first day and trying to swallow it and just wanting to have this gagging and want to throw up because your adrenaline's going and you're terrified and your heart is racing. You're sitting there, you don't know what's going to happen at any minute, and for all you know, they're going to come in any minute and just blow your head off.
One of her most terrifying moments when U.S. soldiers came very close to a house where she was being held, and her chief captor confronted her.
He says, "In your hair, something hidden in your hair," and I was like, "No, no!" And I grabbed my headscarf and pulled it off. And I took my little hair thing out, so my hair was like loose, so you could see there was nothing, no cell phone hidden in my hair, no nothing, no chip implanted in my scalp, there was like a homing device. He said, "Do you have any way to signal your government, signal the military?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." I was hysterical. I also sort of became overly anxious to show him that I would never want to do this. I would never bring soldiers to this place.
Not long after that, her captors asked her to make the first in a series of hostage videos.
And I was like, oh God, here we go. I have all the visions of Al Jazeera, people on Al Jazeera being killed and all this, I thought that's gonna be me.
They wanted her to cry and to demand the release of Iraqi women prisoners.
So I tried to cry. By the end of it, when I was really crying, it sort of came out, all the frustration, all the stress. And then they said, "Oh, you know what? You didn't cry enough in that video. You have to do it again." And I was like, "Oh my God!" it's really wrenching. I can't tell you how hard it is. I mean, you're sitting on TV pleading for your life. I knew what that meant. It means in 3 or 4 days they put you on Al Jazeera. They do it again to cut your head off.
The videos helped spark a global movement spearheaded by her parents, who made public pleas for her release.
She is not your enemy. When you release her alive, she will tell your story with that same conviction.
In March, she was finally freed, dropped off at the headquarters of an Islamic political party. Critics were jarred by Carroll's initially positive statements about her captors during an interview with party officials.
Very good treatment. I was kept in a very good, small, safe place, a safe room, nice furniture. They gave me clothing, plenty of food.
Carroll now says she was not well treated and that she still felt threatened when she made that statement.
People need to understand, I think they sort of forget that, literally, these are people that will kill you at any moment. And so you don't really, especially after a few months or a few weeks, you're not thinking normally. Even after a few days, you're not thinking normally at all. And you're in massive survival mode.
There is much more of this interview, including what Jill Carroll learned about how insurgents operate. Tomorrow, the Christian Science Monitor begins an 11-part series on Carroll's story. You can find more details on the paper's website, csmonitor.com, and at our website, abcnews.com. And ABC News will have much more of Jill Carroll's interview starting tomorrow on Good Morning America. And that is World News for this Sunday. Tomorrow on Good Morning America, you can hear more from Jill Carroll, how the Christian Science Monitor reporter survived 82 days as a hostage in Iraq.